I was in the seventh grade and I fell in love with my teacher. Her name was Mrs. Gist. I didn't know what was going on. All I know is that I really liked her. And so I used to walk her home from school. And one day her husband came to the door, and that ended that relationship. When I met my partner, Brenda Coley, um, we were in our 20s. We immediately became best friends. And we were best friends for 10 years before I realized, hey, I think I love her. So we came out and we told our families, and they didn't respond well. We've been together as partners 37 years. We've been best friends for 47 years. And we decided that the friendship was more important than the relationship. So if the friendship were ever in jeopardy, we were going to give up the relationship. Having her to lean on is just it's a blessing. It's my greatest blessing in life, really. There's a whole lot of challenges to being Black. That's a interview in itself. I dropped out of high school at 17. 17 years later, I started college. In between, I got a GED. 17 years after that, I walked across the stage with a PhD. But that journey was filled with racism. And I've had so many people tell me because I am Black that you won't make it. That's been a constant message that I've heard throughout my life. And every one of those challenges, I overcame them. I teach literature, history, and sociology. I love it. You can't keep me out of the classroom. I wrote a book called Voices of Milwaukee Bronzeville. Black people were pushed into one area of the city, couldn't live anywhere else. But then in 1960, when they put the freeway through, that just destroyed Bronzeville. It was important to me to collect that history from the only people who had it, because it's important that we remember. And so this project, especially in a place like Milwaukee, where the history of LGBT, especially people of color, is so sparse. It's so important to capture this at this moment. I wish Milwaukee did not have the designation of being one of the most segregated cities in the nation. Things like unemployment and food insecurity didn't plague so many of my folks. There are no grocery stores in the boundaries of Harambe. And so food insecurity is a huge issue. It's also the poorest neighborhood in the city. Many people don't have cars. They depend on grocery stores, corner grocery stores, gas stations, dollar stores. It was Brenda who got me involved with Victory Garden Initiative. Victory Garden Initiative started in 2009. We have built over 7,000 garden beds across the city of Milwaukee, in backyards, churchyards, schoolyards, for organizations and businesses. A lot of times we don't recognize the progress, especially when things are hard. And that's one of the things that we have to do. Even during the worst of times, you have to recognize that progress is, in fact, being made.